Hi, welcome back to AT Math. Today, 8-5, factoring special products. Why it's more exciting than magic sand. Alright, so we have 9x squared plus 12x plus 4. Now what you want to do here is if you happen to notice, hey, I can square root the 9 and the 4. And if you do that, let's see what happens here. Well, the square root of 9 is 3, and the square root of 4 is 2. So the question is, could I have a 3 and 2, a 3 and 2? And notice how 9x squared becomes 3x and 3x, and notice how square root of 4 becomes a 2 and a 2. Also notice how 3x plus 2 times 3x plus 2 simply becomes 3x plus 2 squared. Again, how did we notice this? Well, we notice how the 9 was rootable and the 4 was rootable. The 3 and 2. And think to yourself, 3 times 2 is 6, and 2 6's make 12. And that's how you do that. Let's take another. X squared plus 12x plus 36, x squared becomes 1x squared. So you figure 1 and 1. And 36 is 6 and 6. 1 times 6 is 6, 1 times 6 is 6, 6 plus 6 is 12. Notice how there's a 12 in the middle here. So we're all good. X plus 6 squared. You try, go ahead. X squared plus 4x plus 4. What'd you get? You get this? 1x squared and 4 makes x and 2 and 2. And x times 2 is 2x, x times 2 is 2x, 2 times 2 is 4. It all works out, so x plus 2 squared. Now, let's take a look at this one. X squared minus 14x plus 49. X squared becomes 1x, so 1 and 1 are x and x. 1x and 1x are x and x. 49 is 7 and 7. But notice how there's a negative in the middle. All you have to do, instead of x plus 7, is x minus 7. Because remember, two negatives times make a positive, thus the 49 here. But two negatives added make a bigger negative, which is the negative 14. Therefore, same thing as before, x and x, negative 7, negative 7, and negative 7. So x minus 7 squared. You try, go ahead. Hope that you rooted the 9 and 4. Let's see how you did. Root, 3 and 3, so 3x and 3x. 4 makes 2 and 2, but it's a negative in the middle, so negative 2 and negative 2. So 3x minus 2 squared. Quick break. And back. Now, same thing here except 9p to the 4th, when you root all of that, it becomes 3 and 3, but it's 3p squared and 3p squared. And here, 16q squared is going to be 4q and 4q. However, notice there's nothing in the middle. Here's what you do. Because there's a negative and no b, or middle number, you split it into two binomials, but one is plus and one is minus. So in other words, I'll split it up into 3p squared and 3p squared, but then I'm going to make a plus 4q and a minus 4q. But that's as far as I can go. Why can't I combine that and make a square on the outside? Because the middles aren't the same. Because one's positive and one's negative, this is the end. You try, go ahead. Remember, 121 splits into, it roots into an 11, 64 roots into an 8. Let's see how you did. 11, 11, 8 and 8. Because there's no middle, one must be a plus and one must be a minus. There you go. And why again is there nothing in the middle? Because 11x squared times negative 8q would be 88, negative 88q x squared. And 8q times 11x squared would be positive 88qx squared. So negative 88qx squared plus 88qx squared would cancel out, leaving no middle. Finally, and you can follow along on page 559. In the park in the center of the Place des Vosges, I don't know, I'm not French, sorry, in Paris, France, is in the shape of a square. The area of the park is 25x squared plus 70x plus 49 feet square. The side length of the park is in the form CD plus CX plus D, where C and D are whole numbers. Find an expression in terms of x for the perimeter of the park. Find the perimeter when x equals 8 feet. Pretty confusing. Let's pull it up here. This is the square in question, and this is the problem to go with it. All you really have to do is you have to go ahead and split these up into two binomials. So let's take a look. Well, I'm simply going to split into two binomials. Now what I can do, there's a couple different ways I can play it. You can go ahead and take 25 times 49 and get 1,225. Okay. And from there you can go ahead and find the numbers that work out for it and figure out which ones add to 70. Notice how 35 and 35 add to 70. Therefore, you can go ahead and do all this process, split and split. Okay. Root it out, the 5x and the 7. And the 5x plus 7 over here. Notice how these are the same as square. We're done, but before we're done, I'm going to save you all this time. Oh yeah. See, we're going to take this problem yet again. Because if you followed anything that I taught you in the last 10 minutes here, you realize that I don't have to do this process. Because I happen to notice, hey, wait a minute, there's a special property here. And what's a special property? Let me show you. Root 5x and 7 and 5x and 7. Plus. 5 times 7 is 35, 7 times 5 is 35, 7 times 7 is 49, 5 times 5 is 25, and that's a lot faster than doing all this stuff up here. But hey, whatever makes you happy. Thanks again. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.
It's the amazing floating ball, and you can even pass a hoop right around the suspended ball. All you need is a hairdryer, a table tennis ball and a hoop. Just suspend the ball in the airstream and then you can pass the hoop all around it. Hold out the first finger of your left hand. Now take a playing card and carefully balance it on your finger. Finally, add a coin to the center of the card. Now for the miracle. Simply flick the edge of the card and it will fly away, leaving the coin perfectly balanced on your fingertip. Take 2 pencils and push the ends of them together. Keep pushing for around about 15 seconds. When you pull the 2 pencils apart, they'll feel as if they're magically attracted to one another and drift back together. For this stunt, you need a few sharp pencils and a sandwich bag. Fill the bag with water and seal the top. Next, simply jab the pencils through the bag. Amazingly, the water won't come out. Ask someone to hold out their hand, making sure it's completely flat. Now take a match and place it under their first and third fingers, but over their second finger. Ask them to try and break the match by either moving their first and third fingers down or their second finger up. As long as they keep their hand and fingers completely flat, they won't be able to break the match. Collect together some milk, a plate, some food colouring, a cotton wool bud and some liquid soap. Pour the milk onto the plate and then add some food colouring. Next, dip the cotton wool bud in the liquid soap, place it into the milk, stand back and enjoy the show. Take a straw and a potato. Place your thumb over the end of the straw and simply jab it straight through the potato. Amazing. For this next miracle, you need a tube of paper. Place the tube up to your right eye and look through it. Now, hold your left hand next to the tube and it will look as if you have a hole right in the middle of your hand. For this one, you need a hard-boiled egg, a bottle and a few candles. Place the candles into the egg and then light them. Now, place the bottle over the candles. Amazingly, the egg will get completely sucked into the bottle. Place 3 chairs in this arrangement and a pillow between 2 of the chairs. Next, lie between 2 of the chairs. Have a small friend carefully stand on you by placing one of their feet onto your legs and another foot on your tummy. Make certain they don't stand on the middle of your body. If you follow the instructions and are very careful, everything should be fine. But please don't attempt this unless you're completely fit and well.